Hi, it's Stephanie, the No Bad Days girl. So glad you joined me today. Today I'm going to talk about how to love yourself. I could talk about this subject for days. I love it so much, but don't worry, I won't. This is a journey and it's not a race. And if I bombard you with too much information, you're not going to remember it all. And you don't want to listen to me for that long. We all have things to do. So I'm just going to make this a few part series, as all of this is. All of this is stuff that we'll just continue to talk about and continue to talk about and continue to talk about. So we'll have a few steps today, and then we'll continue on with some more next time. I have a friend who says, and I love this saying so much, I didn't think much of myself, but I was all I thought about. And it's so true. I guess, from my previous podcast, that what I'm talking about is mind monsters. And, our brains are out to get us. And we need to learn to shut them up. And so I hope that you watched before about how to shut them up with outside noise. I learned that most of the ways that my mind was out to get me was some kind of thinking that was the result of what I was doing or my past. So we talked before about how when we were born untainted. We were born with love and hope and faith. We had these beautiful minds, and they haven't been tarnished by anyone or anything. And, so we want to get back to that childlike mind. We want to get back to that place. And we can. The world shaped us, and we can always unshape that, and we can always change it. And so, I went through, I don't know, till I was like 5 years old, never thinking about how I was different. I never worried about whether I was fat, whether I was skinny, if I ate all the food on my plate or not, whether I was eating my vegetables. I never worried about were my lips too big or my eyes too small, or was my toe too big, or were my knees fat, or I didn't think about any of that. So I didn't even know that was something to think about, right? And then I went to school, and kids can be cruel, and kids' words can shape us, and I was bullied a little bit, but not on purpose. Kids just, they don't know. They ask questions that they shouldn't ask, and along the way, they retrained my brain. It doesn't have to be the kids. It might have been a teacher. It might have been your parents. It might have been your aunt. Who knows? But along the way, the world got us, and they changed us, and we want to change back. So how do we shut up those mind monsters? How do we shut them up? We retrain our brains. That's how we do it. And like I said, last week we talked a little bit about, shutting them up with outside noise. Hopefully that outside noise is good noise. Today I'm going to talk to you about some other ways. It really helped me to understand who I'm worried about. Why am I worried if other people don't like me? And who are the other people? And someone once said to me, people can't stand to be around you for more than 2 hours. And you know what? I was a mess. I was opinionated. I was judgmental. I was, all I wanted to talk about was me. I was unhappy. And, just because misery loves company doesn't mean company loves misery. So, I was sharing the mess instead of the message. And so, when that person said that to me, my first thought was, who are those people? And why do I care? And, that should be your thought too. If you're walking around worried that people don't like you, who are those people? And why do you care? And, a lot of times it's not really their problem. It's our problem. It's our problem. Because they're really not thinking about you anyhow. Trust me, they're walking around thinking about what other people are thinking about them. We're all thinking about ourselves. And we all need to just stop thinking so much and start enjoying life. So, it helped me to figure out Who am I trying to impress and why? Is it my boss? If I do a good job, he'll be impressed. Is it members of the opposite sex? Is it my mom? Is it your kids? Who is it really? It's you. That's who you're trying to impress. You. Funny story. I knew a guy who was single. He was my next door neighbor. And he was on all those dating sites. And he went on a lot of dates. And I was shocked when I found out. I asked him, what's wrong with all these women that you don't keep dating them? And it wasn't that they were fat or they were skinny. It wasn't their looks. It wasn't their clothes. And, I was shocked by that because all this time I was so worried about the outside of me. I never worried about the inside of me. My brain needed to be washed. I needed to be changed because I was miserable. And people don't want to be around you if you're pathetic. They don't. So I had to realize that, I needed to stop comparing myself to other people. And, we'll talk about that on the next one. But I'm going to tell you right now, we're all as different as our fingerprint. And we need to stop trying to be everybody else and just be us and be happy with us. Be happy with you. That's the only person you need to be happy with is you. Everything else will work out. We're all as different as our fingerprint. I have a sponsor who loves to get up at the crack of dawn and go to the gym. I don't. First of all, I'm not getting up at the crack of dawn. I'm a 9 o'clock girl. I'm not getting up that early. Second of all, I don't like to go to the gym in the morning. I like to go at night. If I go to the gym in the morning, I'm thinking about what I should be doing instead of being at the gym. I'm so worried about getting to the rest of my day. And, again, thinking. Need to stop all this thinking. But for me, I like to go to the gym at the end of the day because I like to wash the day off with some good, quality time for me. But that doesn't make either one of us right. It just makes us different. And I don't need to try to be like her because that's not going to work for me. That's just going to make me miserable. So I'm in acceptance that I like to go to the gym at night. And there's not a thing wrong with that. And I don't have to be like her. Another funny story about people being different is, my pastor told us this story about him and his wife. And this is a story about how to keep the strife out of your life. Because we're all different. And if we're constantly trying to be right or change others to be like us, it's not going to work for us. We're going to be mad all the time. We're going to be mad. And mad people are not happy people. And so, I had to learn to be in acceptance. I had to learn that, I don't have to be right all the time. And I don't have to change everybody to be like me. It would be a really boring world if everybody was just like me. So my pastor and his wife used to go to the airport to fly away on their vacation. And they used to argue every time about she wants to go to the bookstore and get her on-flight read and snacks. And he wants to go straight to the gate. And they would get in an argument about who was right. Who's right? Is it right to go to the gate first or is it right to go to the magazine place first? Nobody's right. So we're fighting to get our way is more like it. It's not who's right. It's get our way. Sometimes you're not going to get your way. I wait in line at Walmart. I have to park far away. Things just aren't always the way I want them. And I have to be okay with that. And I have to get into acceptance about that. So what they started doing to keep the strife out of their life and enjoy their trip, not start their trip off in a fight, was she goes to the magazine, he goes to the gate, they meet at the gate, and they're happy. And that's what we have to do. We have to solve our thinking. We have to change it. I have to keep the strife out of my life to be happy. I'm not always going to get my way. I had to stop fighting everyone and everything. I had to get into acceptance. And that led me into love. And once I was able to love me, I was able to love you. Nothing good comes out of being a person that has to get your way. I know I'm an only child and I have only child syndrome. I was taught early on, if I threw a big old fit, I would get my way. And that's what I did. That's what I did. As I grew older, I threw big fits. I got my way, and then I felt like crap about it. And usually my way was not the right way. And so it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Anyhow, so I had to accept things the way that they are and think that, you know what? Maybe this is the way it's meant to be. And now I have no bad days. Another way that you can learn to love yourself is to be nice. I know this stuff, it's so easy. It sounds too easy, but it really does work. Just be nice. Do the right thing. Don't gossip. A lot of times the reason that we worry so much about what other people think of us is because we're judgy. And if you're judgy, you're going to be judged, or you're going to think you're being judged because you're judging everybody. Stop doing that. Don't judge other people. Don't sit at the mall and watch people walk by and think about how bad they are. Think about how good they are. Be nice. Do the right thing. Don't gossip, and don't be judgy. It's unattractive. And first thing I think of when somebody comes to me with gossip is I think, what are they saying behind my back? And usually it's because they want me to think higher of them. And I don't. I think less of them. It's just like putting gasoline on a fire. It's just going to burn everything down that you love. And so stop doing it. I think it's kind of true. What you fill your mind with will change it. And I used to fill my mind with a lot of Judge Judy. I had this brain and I had to shut it up. So I had all these judge shows on all day, and they would just play all day while I worked. And, I would hear this, and I realized that it was making me judgy, So I stopped. I'm not saying I don't watch Judge Judy anymore. I love me some Judge Judy, but I don't watch it every day. And I'm aware that if I do, it tends to make me judgy, and I need to be aware of it so I can change it. I don't have to be judgy. I can change it. I don't have to gossip. I can change it. I used to have this job where, there was only like 6 of us, and we'd all come to each other and be like, you're not going to believe what she did, and you're not going to believe what he said, and you're not going to believe what she did. And, finally, I was the one they all came to because I was the queen, right, of the gossip. And finally, I told them all, I said, you know what, don't talk to me about that anymore. I don't want to be involved in all that negativity. And they didn't talk to me about it anymore. And my life changed, and I don't do it anymore. I have a tribe of girlfriends, and we have a saying, and that is, stay in your hula hoop. And this is my hula hoop right here, right around my personal space, as you will. And, I don't get into other people's business. We also have a saying, and our saying is it kind? Is it true? And is it necessary? Like, I don't let words leave my mouth unless they're kind and they're necessary and they're true. So we have this hula hoop, and, I stay in my hula hoop. I stay in my hula hoop. I don't get into other people's business. I don't care who's sleeping with who. I don't worry about what she wore. I don't worry about who's going to lunch with who and if I'm invited or not. I don't worry about whether, this person's sucking up to the boss. And, I don't. This is my hula hoop right here. Stay in it. When people come to me to talk to me about their stuff, I don't ask them 100 questions. It's none of my business. They're telling me what they want me to know, and that's all I need to know. And I don't give them my opinion unless they ask for it. My opinion is my opinion. Doesn't mean I run the world. Just because it's my opinion doesn't make it right. It certainly shouldn't be theirs. They have their own. If they come to me and ask for it, I give it to them. I'm on a roll, and I got to stop. So my last point of the day is, if you want to like yourself, get up and take a shower. I know, all this stuff sounds too easy. I woke up with, I was raised with, you never know who you're going to run into, so always look your best. And I used to think that was a curse. Because I would be exhausted, and I would still get up and take a shower and do my hair and do my makeup and put on nice clothes, even to just sit around the house. And now I don't think that's a curse anymore. With this pandemic and everything, I still do it. I still put my earrings on. I still put my necklace on. I get dressed. I don't do it for who I might run into. I do it for me. Listen, I'm not getting dressed like I'm going to a wedding every day. That's not what the point. I get dressed for me because I feel good. I take a shower, wash all the crusties out of my eyes, throw on some lipstick, blow dry the bangs. I just feel better. I feel better if I'm what I call ready to receive. I just feel better. So if you want to like yourself, feel good about yourself. So, I hope that you learned today through this segment, and we'll continue. We'll continue how to humble yourself, how to lose a little bit of that ego and that pride, and how to love yourself. How to love yourself. I just want us to get back to that childlike brain where we were just in acceptance and we loved ourselves and we didn't have to be right, and we were just worried about our basic needs. And I'm going to tell you, I have everything I need today, and I hope you do too. And I hope that this helped you, and I hope that you'll subscribe to my page. I'm so grateful that you joined. Just push that little subscribe button, and have a great day. Bye.